today. I think most of us agree communication is important.
Yeah, but it's not easy. It takes time, effort, and patience.
What is that?
Nothing. I said no before. The answer is still no.
All you do is lecture. Why can't you listen for once?
I'm not lecturing. Listen, you're not... Dan, I'm getting so tired of this. I mean, it's like I'm talking to you. You're not even listening to me.
So we've talked and we have talked and we have talked. We've accomplished nothing. Sue, I love you, but I don't understand what is going on. And I don't think that you do either.
Well, at least I'm trying to. Stan?
Good night.
Fine. Sleep on the couch. See if I care.
So, if you want to do better, where do you start?
Well, let's really go behind the scenes and talk to the experts.
I think it's important that families talk, because if there's no communication, there are a lot of little problems become big problems, misunderstandings become big misunderstandings. It's important that everyone gets a chance to talk about how they feel.
Communication is an acknowledgement of our connectedness, whether we're talking to each other, whether we're touching each other, whether we're just watching each other and noticing what's going on. That's what acknowledges the fact that we're connected. And when we stop doing those things, the connectedness starts to disappear.
We tend sometimes to think we read other people's minds. And sometimes we think we know what our children are saying. Children sometimes think they know how mom and dad think about them. It's words that kind of cut through that.
Without communication, both verbally and that nonverbal communication that says, I'm here, I'm with you, I care, I'm listening, that sort of thing, people become mysteries to us. We think we know them, but we really don't.
But the heart is the most important thing in communication, not necessarily the words.
Do you want to go there? That's what
No, we're not. Marriage isn't supposed to be like this.
Tyler, we agreed you'd spend the lunch hour copying the makeup assignment on the blackboard.
Doing his makeup.
Love lasts when you put your marriage first. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And so that's what they're asking for in question 2. Which segment is a reflection of A, B, okay?
I just don't get it, okay?
Well, you're just not listening. Look, it's really simple. It's easy.
All I ever do is listen to you. Why can't you ever listen to me?
There's no more likely way to invite somebody not to listen to you than to demand it. But to invite it is to give yourself to them before you ask that they give themselves to you.
Sometimes when dads listen, they listen for accuracy rather than for understanding.
In order for me to be a good listener, depends less on the skill that I would bring to it and more upon my sincerity to really want to know what my child's world is like.
Listen to what they have to say and then feed back to them. You know, this is what I heard. Is this what you meant? To me, it's 2 things. It tells them, I'm really listening to you. And secondly, I really want to understand.
So, you feel that because math is hard for you, that you'd be letting me down?
I just want you to be proud of me.
Sam, I am proud of you.
Communication comes when people feel like they really are heard and that what they are saying counts and is important. I think particularly with teenagers, that's a big problem. We have a lot to tell them, but we oftentimes don't take time to listen to what it is that they say or that they're feeling or they're experiencing it and trying to understand it from their perspective.
I thought we were going to the store.
Well, we are.
The turnoff's back there.
Well, I thought I'd take the long way.
I'll do better in math.
This isn't about math.
It isn't?
Nope.
Just tell me what it is, okay?
But what is?
Whatever it is you're mad at.
Should I be mad?
I don't know. Are you?
I just want to know how you're doing, that's all.
You don't want to say anything?
No? How about you?
Not me. Are you gonna die?
Not for a long time.
Oh, I mean, good. I'd miss you.
You know, I miss you too.
Really?
Understanding grows one conversation at a time. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
So I think as parents, we need to make that conscious effort to do things with our children, anything that allows for communication to take place. And it doesn't have to be sitting always necessarily isolated and face-to-face with each other. There are some things that I've heard parents do, playing basketball, doing dishes together, are excellent times for that talking, that communication to take place.
I set up time, individual time for each of my children. It's been their time, that they know there's a set time that we can sit and talk. And I generally will talk in their room, in their space where they feel comfortable.
The most effective communication happens in families when there's a setting of openness. And by that openness, I mean there aren't set answers or set expectations.
If we're going to be good listeners, we have to be prepared to hear things we don't want to hear. We have to be prepared to hear our children try out a new idea, or to say that they don't agree with us, or they don't like something that we like. Otherwise, they're going to quickly learn that I can't really say how I'm thinking or how I'm feeling.
You know, being a mom has taught me something else about communication. Sometimes when you think you're being perfectly clear, well, it isn't clear at all.
Stay there! Parker!
How many times have I told you to stay away from the corner? Look at me. I've told you time and time again, never walk to the corner.
Mommy, what's a corner?
I couldn't believe it. I had never even considered that he might not know what the word corner means.
One of the biggest faults in communication is assuming that because the other person loves me or should love me, they should know what I want and what I need. And therefore, I don't need to tell them.
Common mistakes include things like, you never, or what, you always. First of all, nobody ever, always, or nevers. And so it's an accusation when I imply that you do that. And that usually follows with another common mistake, which is to label somebody. You're just lazy. You always put it off. You're such a con artist. To label us as that's the way we are, boy, it puts up a pretty big wall that I'm going to have to climb over to communicate with you effectively.
Getting angry, I think, is almost always an act of self-defense of some sort. You're defending your territory somewhere. Either I've got the right to be an authority here because I'm the parent and how dare you, or just you've offended me somehow and I have a right to defend myself against that. I think you have to give that up. Somebody's got to be the grown-up here. And I think all relationships, not just parenting relationships, go better when we give up the boundaries and say, okay, I'm in here with you and we're just doing this and we'll do whatever it takes.
People are skilled at different levels, but ultimately it's not the skill that's important. It's your honesty in giving yourself to the other person rather than your intellect or your skills that makes the most difference.
Communication is fundamental. It isn't easy. It takes consistent work and patience and even sacrifice. Jesus Christ set the perfect example for us in this as well as every other part of our lives. He taught the importance of love and kindness, patience and forgiveness. We can learn to do the same things. We can follow his example.
And living those principles is one of the best things we can do for our families.